Beer up and riot.
When most people hear the term punk, they think of the music. However, most people think of punk rockers as outrageous, drunken bastards listening to screaming music. But punk rockers can be intelligent, and I'm going to show you that in this video.
It's a continuous state on both sides of your brain. One side is saying, yeah, you know, life's pretty good, really. We got all the oil we can eat and all the food we can steal off other people. And the other side saying, yeah, but the world is all fucked up because your fucking stupid civilized habits.
Because Ronald Reagan was elected president, a new hardcore style of punk rock was born. This was faster and angrier compared to the old punk rock.
The band The Dead Kennedys is an example of hardcore. They wrote a song called California Uber Alles. However, when Reagan was elected, they rewrote the song, and it's called We've Got a Bigger Problem Now.
I got into punk rock music probably when I was about 14 or so. I don't know, punk rock is kind of it's a weird sort of culture in that a lot of people define it by different things. Like for me, I definitely stopped looking like most of the other kids I went to school with probably around like 8th or 9th grade.
I've been a punk rocker since I was about 17 or so. Really got into bands like Operation Ivy and The Descendants through some friends, towards the end of high school, so about 17.
I guess I'm not sure how to really define politically active. Like, I've never been a member of a political party. I was never big on like going down to protest marches or whatever. I kind of did be more involved in. I guess I was more interested in figuring out where I was at.
I became politically active, actually through my mother when I was about 4 years old. I was brought out to the 1984 nurses strike. But I got into my own political action, high school age, so 14, 15, 16.
Propaganda are a punk rock band that was started in the mid-90s. Their lyrics are like poetry. They have political and social message.
But for me, like, as I've grown and matured, it's like my worldview has definitely changed quite a bit. Like, I'm not as confrontational about things as I used to be. I feel like I'm more committed to what I do believe, but like, I'm also less likely to get up in somebody's face about what they believe.
Not drastically, but I guess I would say that my politics have refined with maturity. My ideas on punk rock, I've had a lot of experiences that have kind of broadened and also narrowed my views on, what is punk, and, it's a highly contended question that I'm not even going to try to answer, but, it's, I'd say that, with age, they've kind of matured.
I think like straight edge is like one of the few things that punk rock is directly responsible for. And I think the original formulation of the idea of straight edge, of being, looking at, kind of the hedonism and the drug and, sex and alcohol, whatever, scene in the late 70s.
At least the political side of punk has really brought, a variety of political groups to the forefront. It's groups like the Anti-Racist Action, movements like Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice or Red Anarchist Skinheads. It's brought, maybe progressed political views on a larger scale.
Punk is more than spikes and mohawks. The ideology behind punk is true alternative culture.